Hello Aries, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a timeless reading, which means whenever you happen to be watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. All right. Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there is the Hierophant card. Very interesting. I love getting the Hierophant right at the beginning because it gives me such a clue into kind of how you're doing and what you're about right now, you know. We're going to do our Dove and Serpent spread, and as I lay these cards out, I would like to offer, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Right. We're going to finish up Path of the Serpent here, and wow, it really looks like you are the source of all of this fire here, and it's really manifesting in your life. I think that you're experiencing a tremendous amount of abundance and rewards and profit and success and healing right now. But let's do our mystery card before we get too deep into all of this. And yeah, let's do Rider-Waite-Smith again. I've been really enjoying the Rider-Waite-Smith lately. And this is the card we're going to set aside. We're going to put the frog right on top. We're not going to look at it until the very end. That frog won't cheat. Won't tell me what it is. I've already tried. Won't do it. At the end of the reading, we'll see if that can tie everything together and give us the confirmation we need. Okay? So, we have got some water. We've got a lot of earth. We've got some major, some fire. We got some fire, some earth, and then some more air over here. Okay? So, starting with this Hierophant, I feel like you are in this mode of really trying to, I mean, just to put it simply, to teach, to share your knowledge and your experience with other people, okay? I think that you're trying to pass on some sort of information or knowledge. Maybe you're writing a book, maybe you're coming up with a curriculum, maybe you are literally instructing others or teaching others, or you're trying to start some sort of business that does those sorts of things, but there's this really strong kind of teacher vibe. You may literally be a teacher or a professor or an instructor, but even if not literally, the work that you're doing, whatever it is you're involved with now, it could be a career thing, it could be a passion project, it could be something completely outside of, you know, the financial employment kind of thing. In some way, maybe in subtle ways, it is helping others, and it is passing on information to others that will be of benefit to them, that will help them in their path, right, on their life. And what this is it kind of seems like you took a little trip recently. Here's the moon energy. This is kind of is kind of representing the new moon, right? I feel like you kind of went on this inner journey, right? And maybe you traveled. You traveled recently to some place that you've never been before. Maybe in the last year you've done a little bit of that. But I think this is really talking about the inner exploration. I think that you've done a lot of soul searching, a lot of maybe astral journeying, a lot of inward traveling and exploration. And I think what you've brought back with you, it's kind of starting to sound like a supernatural film or something. What you've brought back with you is this Ace of Wands, this fiery, powerful energy. The reason I almost said swords, now I believe every slip of the tongue is meaningful, right? And I make a lot of those, is because we have this 8 and 9 of swords at the end of the Path of the Serpent, which I keep wanting to not see, but I keep seeing it out of the corner of my eye, you know. I don't want to talk about those. I don't want to get to those, but we're going to try to turn those into positive cards, right? But anyway, we'll get there. What you brought back with you from this period of could be a period of, maybe you've sequestered yourself, you've isolated, you've explored the inner planes, you've done a lot of introspection, a lot of soul searching, you've confronted your demons, confronted your fears. You've brought back this intense fire of spirituality. It's like you're bringing the fire back to early humans, to show them what you've learned. Hey, I've learned how to make fire. Look what I can do with it. This is going to help everybody. I want to teach you how to build a fire, right? I don't think it's literally a fire. I think that this is, you found this source of creativity. You found this inspiration, this aspiration. You found this divine will within yourself, this confidence, this ambition, an enthusiasm to do the work and to create and to share. It's this light and this force and this fire about you that you want to share to others, that you want to, in some way, build a system, a curriculum, an organization, a business, maybe some kind of a charity. I don't know what it is that will teach others how to make this fire. Okay. I'm kind of getting some kind of like almost like a little bit of a psychedelic vibe here. Now, I don't want to alienate people. I know psychedelics sometimes, people get turned off to the subject, but I almost get this kind of shaman vibe, this kind of priest or priestess vibe. This, almost like an ayahuasca ceremony, or something like that. Okay, something that will teach others how to go and find this fire, that will teach them, how to make this fire for themselves. Okay. I feel it's that kind of a group, right? It's like a magical order. Maybe it's a lodge, a temple. Maybe it's in the church. Maybe this is something that is more in line with psychedelics, perhaps psilocybin or ayahuasca or something like that, right? But I think it's teaching people how to go within and build that fire, right? This is all, I think, taking place on the inner planes. It could be, in a literal sense, that you are teaching like bushcraft skills. You're teaching outdoor survival skills, literally how to make a fire out of just sticks, right? Which seems kind of magical if you think about it. You can take two inert things, like two pieces of dead wood, and you can do these things with your hands, and then poof, you've got fire. It seems like a magic trick, right? And I think the same thing, I think we can kind of translate that analogy or that metaphor into the internal kind of part of that, You're taking these fears, these memories, all of this kind of the internal landscape, all of your issue, everything that you might confront during this inner journey, right? This is all of the scariest stuff within you. This is where all of your nightmares come from, right? It's all of your issues, all of your pains, all of your fears and worries and concerns, just everything that's in there. You're taking all of that, and that's basically like all of these pieces of dead wood and these sticks, and you're doing some magical thing with them, and you've got this creative fire. You've got this spark. You've got this divine flame now. And you definitely want to share it with others, okay? I think what else is going on around you, let's take a look at the 5 of discs. This is literally, I think, all of the dead wood in your life, all of the kind of just the dried up sticks and branches and stuff that are now being manipulated and moved around, and we create the fire. So this is underneath you, and I think what you're learning through this process is how to take any negative experience, any pain, any suffering, anything that seems useless, anything that seems painful, anything that seems negative, anything that seems just kind of like dead wood, right? You take anything like that in your life, any problem, any roadblock or barricade or obstacle, any challenge, and through your efforts, through your will, you can create this divine fire. So it's almost like literally taking calamity and producing abundance, producing opportunity, right? It's taking a loss and turning it into a gain. It's taking anything negative and turning it into a positive. Here's the Two of Discs. It's exactly that. It's change. It's change from positive to negative, from negative to positive. So you are able now to manipulate reality in such a way that you are creating abundance and opportunities in challenges, in what seems like negative, impossible, suffering, or just bad situations. You're able to transform things. And right in line with that is this Princess of Discs. These cards are all kind of clustered together. If you look at the overhead, these are all like right here. We have all of this energy coming here with this fire energy. Actually, these cards were like that. All of this fire energy now that the Hierophant is holding on to this Ace of Wands, and you're transforming this earth energy. You're transforming the negative. It's being changed into abundance, into this positive, into that Princess of Discs, into the potential for just whatever you're trying to create. This is all of this stuff. This is your prima materia. This is your first matter. This is kind of what things are as we see them, as we receive experiences in life. Whatever materials are right here where you find yourself, you can transform them through this fiery energy into abundance, into whatever you will, whatever your desires are, whatever is necessary for you right now on your path. And that has to be in line with your will, with your divine fire, right? It's not just, I desire a cheesecake, I'm going to make a cheesecake. You could. I'm sure you could make a cheesecake. If you do, send me a piece. But whatever you are creating, whatever you are transforming this kind of negative energy into, is very much in line with your overall purpose, your divine fire, okay? And what we see up top is the Four of Cups. I feel like this Four of Cups is our attempt to regulate our emotions. I think that's a big part of this. Because we said with this moon energy that it was a lot about confronting fears, right? There was a lot of this confronting fears, confronting kind of negative, negative feelings, negative thoughts, negative experiences, painful memories, things that we're afraid of, our worries, all of that kind of stuff. I think a big part of that is emotional regulation. Now, the Four of Cups is kind of about that. We're not indulging too much in either extreme, either in the positive, the joyful stuff, or in the negative stuff. We're trying to regulate. We're trying to channel what might kind of just be an overwhelming feeling of joy or of sorrow into this creative energy to transform our environment closer to our ideal. Okay? So this is, I think, that focus. I think you're primarily focused on emotional regulation right now. Okay? As part of this process, as part of this kind of new skill that you've been learning and that now you're wanting to share and to teach others. Okay? I think this is a big component of that. Now the next card we see is the Six of Wands. This is your general energy. This card is all about victory, about triumph, about going down into the deepest depths, the darkest darkness of your own self, and emerging the victor, as emerging as this kind of spiritual being. You have gone through the fire. You've gone down into the depths of this water, and you've kind of popped out the other side victorious, And this is a new confidence. This is a new identity, really. You're identifying yourself as this kind of spiritual being, as this spiritual fire. This is you, right? And now, with the Six of Wands, the Six is a doubling of the Three, right? We have the Three of Wands internally. That is our own abundance. That is our own spiritual will, spiritual understanding. That is our own identification with and worship of our divine fire, okay? But we're doubling that. It means we're expressing that outwardly. We're trying to activate that in other people. And that creates this kind of achievement, right? That creates this identity with and worship of everyone else, because that spiritual fire, it's not unique to you. It's in everyone. It is everyone. It is the universe, right? So you're recognizing that and worshiping that in others. I think that's a big part of this for you. It's a big part of kind of this whole theme that we've got. Now, we've talked about the Princess of Discs and the potential for manifestation, the potential for abundance, and this is what you're transforming things into, right? And this is in the position of your resources and your relationships, kind of the things that are around you. You're creating abundance around you. You're trying to create in your life that which will help you in this work that you do, right? So it's not like you're just creating a bunch of cheesecakes to kind of hoard and keep to yourself, right? You're creating all of this stuff that you can then use for this work that you do, to give to others, right? You're making money, but you're putting that money back into the business kind of thing, right? And it might be money. It might be spiritual energy. It might be abundance. It might be emotional. It might be water. It might be fire. You know what I mean? It might literally be the earth. It might be money and that sort of thing. But whatever you're creating, you're putting it back into your work, right? Like a business kind of thing. But now we get to this air energy. And this is really the first kind of time we're encountering this air energy. And we start with the Eight of Swords. This is in the position of what we don't want. We don't want an Eight of Swords. We don't want to be so wrapped up in our thoughts, in our questions, in our second guessing, in our doubts, right? In our doubts, that we are frozen and stuck in time and space. Because the Eight of Swords is a state. It's not an action. It's not the act of overthinking. It's not the act of doubting. It's the state that results from that. And this is inaction. This is the inability to really move, to formulate a clear thought, to take a step in any direction. This is complete, like being completely locked up. And this state results from doubts and overthinking and questioning, second guessing, from a lack of faith in ourselves, right? So this is what we don't want. We want to avoid this. The way that we avoid that, I think, is with this Nine of Swords, by the ruthless honesty, by this really the ability to talk to ourselves in a very open and honest way. Don't put yourself down, don't be mean to yourself, but be honest. Be as honest as you can with the people around you, but mostly, primarily be honest with yourself, right? And if we can admit to ourselves that, hey, I still have a lot of fear, or I still have a lot of doubts, or I'm not perfect. Some days I don't feel this Ace of Wands fire, you know? Some days I do just want all the cheesecake to myself. That's okay. We have to admit that to ourselves, because as soon as we start lying to ourselves and doing this kind of mental trickery with ourselves, we get locked up in an Eight of Swords. So this is the painful truth, the painful, ruthless honesty with ourselves that I think is going to keep you straight. You know, it's going to keep you on the right path. And this is, you know, like I said, very much being honest about this moon energy, this new moon energy. Being honest with ourselves that, yes, there is still a lot more that I'm afraid of. There is still a lot more that I have to work on. I'm not perfect. I have faults. I have problems. I struggle. Right? It's admitting all of these things, but not in a way that is kind of self-defeating, not in a way that is putting us down, but in a way that says, okay, look, it's okay that I'm not perfect right now. It's okay that I still have doubts and fears, because I have this spiritual fire, and I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to stay involved. I'm going to stay present. I'm going to stay activated, right? Because the ego will play a lot of tricks. The mind will play a lot of tricks on us to try to get us locked up here, eating all the cheesecake. And this is what we don't want. And so I think the ending of this reading here is the way that we can move forward with this, the way that we can deal with the inevitable doubts and questions and confusion that we're going to run into. You know, it's going to happen. We have to be aware. We have to know how to deal with it when it happens. Okay? Mystery card. The frog, as I predicted, did not reveal its secrets to me yet again. Maybe next week. For this mystery card, though, I feel like it's either going to be some very balanced air energy, maybe a 6 of swords, maybe a 6 of discs. I always like to see a 6 in the position of the mystery card there. But this could also be an empress or an emperor. I think that would be some very good energy right now. Well, let's find out. Let's reveal this. Well, it is a 6 of discs. I do love the 6. I do love the 6s. So the 6 of discs really is everything being in its place. Everything is getting the proper attention. This is kind of you getting together this group of people for your first ayahuasca ceremony, or your first gathering of this group, right? Your first lecture, your first motivational speaking engagement, whatever this might be. And if the figures, the scene that they've painted on this card is one of somebody who is now they've begun to share their gift. They're in the process of doing this thing, right? You're in the room, you're on stage, you're in front of the group, and now it's your time to act and to share and to impart your knowledge, your wisdom, your instruction, right? Not that you're perfect, not that you're some guru who has no flaws, and you're a person just like everybody else. But you've got something to say, and people want to listen to you. Okay, people want to receive what you're giving them. Okay, they're there because they are receptive to what you're offering, and so now you've got to activate this Ace of Wands. You've got to be that confident, outgoing leader, teacher, mentor, and you've got to impart your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, your instruction, whatever it might be. You know. So the 6 of discs is showing that this is going to be a success. It's going to come together. Every aspect of it is going to be properly configured, right? All the lights are going to work. The microphone will be turned on. The sound system will work. It'll sound good. People can hear you. People can see you. And now it's just up to you to put the message forth. Everything around you has been set up, right? The stage has been set. The scene has been set. Now you just need to do your thing. And I think it's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be beautiful. The 6 of any suit is about the beauty of this. So this is a beautiful scene that's been created for you, and you're right there in the middle doing your thing. And that's very exciting to me, and I'm very happy about it. We're going to do an extended reading. And if you would like to check that out, and I encourage you to do so, please click on the link that's right there. And then, Aries, you can have access to all of the extended readings, not just for your sign, but for all of the zodiac signs. Okay? It opens up hundreds of extended readings. I want to thank you for being here and for letting me read for you. It's really my honor to do this and to see kind of, all of this energy that's around you right now. Because it's always so dynamic. I think I said this last time, but this is really like the best reading ever for you. This is just something so phenomenal that, I couldn't plan these cards better than how they came out now. I think this is absolutely perfect. I think the scene has been set for you to shine and do your thing, and I really think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Thank you again for being here. and for letting me read for you on Dove and Serpent Tarot.